Romane tavem bachtale, mesimo giusi, giutitumo asunto del, adesso das duma pa o Brexit. Janen o Brexit anda Anglia, butrom daran, trashan, cijanen, soavela saravela, sajbesen majdur, nástikbesen majdur. Si adesso cateament sajek advocato, ek friskarosi, kaj si les bari expertiza baro janipe anda karo temato, vo bushol Ibrahim, vo vinkrela kana kamera, si pa shamande o Joži, Lessar Szopinzsárel, Gyilabel e Andrisesa, anda Budapest, anda Bolton besel, lesz Kirom Jóri, Katepas alatte besel Anyu, Zsuzsi Szopinzsárella, anda Bolton, anda Pesta, tajo elek aviloinke maskara megbe, la iboj kakosavo, anda Andrisevski familia Simon. Akana penavi English te hatjaren jene so chijalen romanes te den duma. So welcome everybody to this Brexit discussion. So we're going to do this in two languages, in Romani, Gypsy, and as well as in English. My name is Juice. I represent Koskosan. It's a Roma charity from Oldham, and we are here with Ibrahim, who is running a legal surgery for the Roma community, primarily in the Greater Manchester and in the Northwest area. And we are having a short video session with a family with a Roma musician family who is very well known in the Roma community, and they are having questions to Ibrahim. So I will I'm going to translate the questions from Romani Gypsy into English and vice versa. So if I can get the camera off Ibrahim now.
There you go.
Thank you very much. So you can see Ibrahim as well.
Hello there, everyone.
Yeah. So I've already introduced you, Ibrahim.
Yes.
Yeah, so abapenden pasavorendo eko katari sari ta yakana pale Joži tutar manglemaste pušes sokamesas and viando motori so peresas mangle sokameste pušes kataro Ibrahim.
Tames baktalo. Romanos pušo sa tunčiu, diaky mi veľa kány a veľo Brexit. Hoď kokate jedom. A je pa ungdo az jedom, hoď akány so avla lenca pala kadoke. Sad šajavla so avla mukena katetášon, čimuken vagy saravla majtu. Tai pai pahatari, hogy sääsönak edes häjävin palpaaleille segélyt tuli aika radoje, kun sarapot sousenen voi saravla maituurakaan niille rovensa.
So Joseph is saying that he's very much concerned about their future here in England, what they can expect, whether they can stay here, but what really worries him is crossing the border, because he, as a musician, he gets gigs very often overseas as well, not just in England. So that involves loads of traveling for him. So he wonders how that is going to be affected after the end of March. And I'm going to try and turn the camera towards Ibrahim now, so we can get an answer to this question.
On the 30th of March 2019, the government is opening a portal to accept applications for people who are from the EU, who have lived in this country for more than 5 years or less than 5 years. And the 5 year is an important element as a starting point, because they are introducing settled status for those people who are from the EU, who live in the UK and have lived in the UK for more than 5 years. That's one of the criteria for settled status. And they will issue a settled status for those applicants very, very quickly. It will be done within, the government says, a very short period of time. That could be 5 days, it could be 5 weeks, or it could be 5 months. At this moment in time, Brexit is very fluid, it's very uncertain. But this is the best information we have from the government as at this moment. If you've lived here for less than 5 years, then you will get unsettled status, which is that you will need to work up to 5 years and make an application for settled status. So it's a very simple process at the moment, but the applications will not start until the 30th of March 2019, and at that point the Prime Minister has said that there will be no charge. You can make applications before then, but they will be considered after the 30th of March. And if you've paid a fee, which was £65 per application, that will be refunded to you, because the Prime Minister has given a promise that there will be no fees for the applications for settled status.
Okay. Ibrahim, can I give you the camera so
Yes,
you
of
record
course.
my translation?
Yes.
Yeah. So pendaso Ibrahim ke akana pala otritoshon puterjol jek sistema jek rik po internet aveva veshala taj kote shaj kere registracija për. Via kana shaj jem po internet të kere registracija të ashon kate ma i dur, për ja kana trubujt të potinen. Dhe pala o trito shon, dhe ando april, që trubujt të potinen kanë që. Taj pendas ke kodola manush, kate beshen 5 besh, majtësera 5 besh, shaj mangen të beshen kati besh su kamen, të kamena pengosoro trajo shaj beshen kate. Të ares, taj kade shaj të një sa via angolura. Taj ko majtësera si kate sar 5 besh, vi kodola žene shaj mangen, të beshen kate maj dur, për i lengo statuso, që avela sar so penen permanent, sar so penen po English, kaj pala uni ber shaj di kempelen dhe e raj. Sar bashen. Ta atun që si të peres o prej gjian do 5 besh, ta i kana reses gjian do 5 besh, atun që vitu shaj manges, ta ashos kate të beshes kate ma i dur anda Anglia. Ta vertu rezidencia kate anda Anglia. Okej? Që që nga vëkana, pa kodo qira të pal pale, dhe ando apri shaj gjas kere, taj shaj pires pal pale, taj sot rëvultu për granica. Kodo pushes as mandat të pushav lesta. So, Joseph was also asking me to ask you whether, do you think he's going to be able to travel back and forth between Hungary and the UK without submitting the application? So if he has to travel back home in April, for example, can he do that without the application being submitted? Or is he going to have get into trouble when he returns at the border? And I'm going to grab the camera off you. Yeah, and I'm going to turn the camera around.
Okay. Now, the application starts on the 30th of March, and the application process will stay open until 31st of December 2019. So you have until then to make the application. However, that is only if there is a no-deal Brexit. Very important. If there's a no-deal Brexit, then we have this window of opportunity from the 30th of March to the 31st of December to make those applications. And so you can come and go as many times as you like in between the period. It will not have an impact on you, but you will be advised to make the application as soon as possible.
Okay, yep. So I'm going to give it back to you again. Please.
Thank you. We'll flip it around. There you go.
Kana penap tu menge romane, so pendas so advokato friskaro sho Ibrahim menge. Pendas ke shaj pires, bi problemos ko shaj jas kere pe granica, të shaj ave svipal pale, po qipa kjall ke kerena tu ke problemuri pe granica. Pendas ke si tu vrama, ji ando december, kado besh, të keres registracija po internet, pe kadi stranka, pe kadi rig, pe kado bordalo, të shaj ashos kate. No, kana që kerem pakto, kana që pandavem pakto, kana që avem pe ek godi e Evropa, ki unia o Bryssel taj London, atun që janë do decembro shaj keres registracija, ta që janë do decembro shaj pires. Shaj gjasvi kere shaj gjasvi parpane. Ja, udan kade. Do you think he's going to need, can he do that with his national ID as well? Can he carry on traveling with his national ID?
Yes, he can. Yes, you can.
Perer ke ova shaj pires, vije semi ken vasa žanes. Që trëbuj tu pasporto? E temes kolir dosta i žanes të nakes për granica. E temes kolir.
And I'm going to ask Juice to take the camera again.
Yeah.
If there is a deal, and we don't know if there's going to be one or not, and I for one don't have a crystal ball to be able to give you that answer, but if there is a deal, then there's what they call a reciprocal arrangement between people from the EU living in this country and from people from the UK living in the EU. The deadline for that at the moment is being set for the end of 2021. So if there's a deal, then the deadline gets extended. But at the moment, there's no deal, there's no plan. But once it happens, then I'll let you know.
Okay, so let's get a translation for that. So kana se romanes të penas, pener ke kana kereno o pacto Bruxelles ta London, kana avem pe eguri tai janen te kerene contracto, janen se pe cado pula vipeso keren. Atunci lungjaren e vrama, ta e gjian do 2000 taj bichujek. Shaj kere registracije, taj sogodi žal kade majdur sarakanak sosi. Pena sogodi žal majdur. Kana o Bruxelles taj o London, janem ta avem pe ek godi. Atunci žal majdur sogodi taj gjian do 2000 taj bichujek. Kana najmaš kalender jek pakto, jek kontrakto, či N-ai pe ecodi, atunci so shaikeren, atunci giando cadale berșescu agor, trebuie să cere registrația. Ova. De codola manuș ca cate berșen mai budberș, n-ai care te daran.
Sar meu 5 berș sima bakshov kate kaba una banai te darav hod kere shuden mabay.
Yeah, so Juge is explaining that Sarpendan.
Ojenai te darav akor kadale star kamambe oprale 5 berș beshav kate ke tai sosima kate suden makadai lovoro chilenle tai chi shuden makpal pale. Kadal janost penapel.
So yeah, she's saying that she doesn't, Anu doesn't think that she's going to have any issues staying here now based on the information what you gave her, because she's been living here for more than 5 years in the country, and she's on the system as well, registered. So she's thinking she's going to be fine. So she's very happy, and she's got no questions for now. But I'm thinking, that the process itself, registering and also getting ready for the worst case scenario as well. You always need to get ready for the worst case as well. And if something bad happens, then you need to be ready for that scenario as well, because it's about something very, very important. It's about the future of our families and our residency here in England. Sajdára manus van so janes che nasti bizio manus zurale sandagaje cosa rai so cadente specialmente sale romenza jares ma tai atunci di che svia canak si pisate gaje si c'era ta sunde catena azul gaje besenan Anglia tai chaches trebuie tavas te to sai vas pacado tavena mari delegata che hai campelena tu che juji vai vi mange pelena nasti beshav khatama jusi nasti beshes mai durant Anglia atunci trebuie te crava appellato e felle bezeshi janes te penavlenge me ci sintumenza d'accordo ci me ci sintumenza de goli anda cadibuci che me khate camafte beshav mai dar atunci ce papirosa ce hertia tribunama. So I think it's important to know what documentation is also required in case my request to stay here will be turned down. Like I need to think about it myself. Like Jews myself. So it's important to get ready for that as well. What do you think about that, Ibrahim?
Well, I think that's a very important question, Juice. And all I can say to you at this moment in time, that when the portal opens on the 30th of March, the main requirements will be that you are able to prove your identity, which is you have a national identity card or you have an EU passport, that you can prove your residence here so that you have some form of utility document that has your name and your address on it. And if you've been working here in this country, that you have a national insurance number and pay slips that can demonstrate that you've either been working and you've been paying your taxes, and if you're self-employed, that you have a series of set of accounts to show that you've been contributing towards the system. So if you can deliver those types of documents as part of your application, we would be very happy to help you go through that process.
Megpenaptum engem irován pendas. Perché sacco manus trubuita gata chaches che sacco manus trubuita avere certia che sacco je che sai pusheno pre che ceva si tu paše te beșes tu khate and Anglia ta atunci trubuita si cavasa cana penda sacco je che jenes cu camel te beșel khate mai dur dando april anda canobeș trubuita avere slil janes lile temesco sar pena same gajikane same kaiva buletina sar supenen andar România vai trebuie să aveți pasportul utlevelo jak paso tai atunci pentru trebuie te situ buci trebuie să aveți tu te pe slipura era n-ai tu buci situ ek business atunci trebuie să aveți tu lilate să caveți că Chaches keres bujan de tino business. Samli fakturi sogoli meg trebuie avente incresle papirosa sogoli janes. Kana sam businessmeno al cozoivo situ businesso situ atunci trebuie increstelira. Atunci pendas avela misto sacco je keje ines, avele seclil anda pesco ana. Akani mange giuseske tavel mange opre skirime o giusi kai besher ando Manchester ta kote tavel mruana e adresa ta atunci vikodo simisto tavel ando vas ke pener hai kam varekas kojane saravela e sistema ta varekas kate šudena palpale lesko krejmo pa je registracija, te šaj ašo kate, atunci tavel gata, te del viko do manuš palpale era jenge.
Igen.
Taj pendas ke von, te ko kade pačar, šaj žutin, taj šaj den informacija. Taj šaj žuti sarene romenge tavel, bistošo siguro ke čačes, te šaj ašon kate majdu tavel garancija. Che canasit e avvocato passo mais lugares aver Africa di Bucci. Yeah, there was one more thing I was going to ask in relation to this topic of crossing the border. Joseph was asking me earlier because he's traveling, right? So he may carry his instruments with himself from time to time. So he would be fine crossing the border along the same rules as it is now, even in case of a no-deal Brexit.
Up to the 31st of December 2020, he should be fine.
2020?
Yeah.
Okay. Penerke vikana o London tai o Bruxelles cikeren kontrakto, tai kade hulavem pe avi, ke hoja sa hulavem pe, vi atunci pener, sa kade ašo sogodi, tai adinti nam isto pendem jerto sare romale, na ponevo berš, ando 2005, ži ando december 2005, kade ašo sogodi sar sosia kanik.
Értem.
Juice, if you like
Yes.
to take the camera.
Yes.
Yeah. However, Joseph, if you want to reside in this country, you have to make the application. Yeah? And in a no-deal Brexit, it is at the end of 2019. If it's a deal happens, then that deadline will be extended further forward. But if you've lived in this country for more than 5 years, then you qualify for settled status. If you've lived less than 5 years, and a period of living in this country is 6 months out of a period of 12 months, so you must have lived here for 6 months out of 12 for each of those years, that will qualify as 1 year. Yeah? So you need to be living in this country. If you're going back and forth, you must remember that this will have an impact on your application.
Sorry, Ibrahim, just something to put this information accurately to our viewers. So is it 2019 or 2020?
If there's a no deal, 2019. If there's a deal, it will extend.
Yeah, so it's not 2020 then in case of a no-deal Brexit, but 2019.
That's right, yes.
All right, okay. All right, that's important to set that right because I seem to have mistranslated it just a while ago. Akana Penel, Ibrahim, would you mind, Ibrahim? Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Akana Penel ke kana nai kontrakto maš kod Bruxelles taj u London, ži kado berš, ašo kade sarsosi. Dependas che si importanto si fonto šo važno savoražine ke te kerene registracija ke šaj penentu menge ke šaj pušen tu mendar taj vi mandar sosta sam kate. Taj karči naštik si kavaslenge, najame lila, najame hertijate si kavaslenge, atunci šaj avea problemo. Šaj šudena me kere. Pener, anda kado trubu sako je ke manušeske, leske papira, leske lila, samek taven, sogodi
Dacă dobrești acolo, că și-ai să amintim pe că doi manușa, hogy și-ai avla caschere și-ai bișave.
Ova.
Cornando, voi zaratai bișan, do de
Na,
și
kado berš ando december, kade ašo sogodi sa sosi. Ando nevo beršava, kana abanice, atunci banaști. Azi, kate kamelte ašo, vi ando nevo berš, vi pala 2010 atunci kado berš trebuie te kerele registrația. Ta inke kodo pendas, ko panj beršel kate, panj berš, sar juji, kodo la šaj ašon kate, de sodi kent, kana si tu panj berš. Sako jek berš, minimum šovšon sa te berše sandanglia. Kana mai but sa nas mai dur kate ranglia sa šovšon, atunci când dobești hasardan. Care sva? Minimum shon anda sako jek besh, sa ste beshe sa nda Anglia. Kana kadesa na sa nda palune panj besh, atunci shaj dentu minja imediat jo karsa shaj pasui shaj na kes, taj dentu drum te beshes kate elektrek. Kati besu kamets. Okay, atunci viu Alec camel te pushe Alec shajde se kamera te laptop. So Alec also wants to give us a question. Sorry, that was all translations. It might be a little bit boring for our viewers. We are into 20 minutes now.
Let me clarify because I want to double check the deadline dates so that you can translate them correctly. Okay? The application process starts from the 30th of March 2019. Yep. If there is a no-deal Brexit, then the deadline will be the 31st of December 2020. Okay? If there is no deal.
20 then.
20, that's right. Yes, I just want to clarify that.
Whoa,
yeah?
That's good news.
Okay. And if there is a deal, at the moment it's going to be 30th of June 2021. But that might change. Okay?
Okey-doke. All right.
So can you please clarify for your viewers?
Okay. O Ibrahim penel te penaptu mi ka kana di klas. Ke penel ke sako des paruvena kana do parlamento. Sako des ne vo plano son pe mesaja. Penela kani kodo pemde ke kana maskaro Brussel ta London. N-ai mașcalen de contracto pa o Brexit. Atunci Gi anda cadobeș, ando december, n-ando nevo beș, numai anda cadobeș. Gi ando decembru, așa că de so godi sa so Sibia cani. Feri cadobeș. Sako je krom te janel cado. Kana n-ai contracto mașcaro Brussel ta London, gi anda cadale beșesco agor šaj ašuva savora žire. Šaj pir keras pa granici. Ko či kamel peske problemura, taj kamel te pire vi mai but pa granici, taj te kere peske buča kate, ko dole žirenge pale trubui te kere registracija po internet. Taj Ibrahim, taj leske kolegure, advokature, friškaroše šaj ajutin, Romenge anda kado. Akaniko Elek kamela ste pušelvare, so se Elek wanted to give us a question.
What's your question?
Stavim baktare so godi žire, kodi vorba kamo stutarta pušav, jusim, ođkona akanika veravri akanika andi Anglia. Neve manuša, taj telekamente telepedin, taj kamen buti te keren. Taj najleinke insurance, čaja venavri, šaj telepedin tele, taj dele šage jura.
Okay, so Alex's question is, and what about the new arrivals? Like, if somebody wants to come to the country now, and they want to apply for a national insurance number now, and they want to get a job here now, or apply for benefits, and get kids to school, would they be able to do that? Thank you very much.
Juice, that's a very important question. Thank you for that. The answer is yes. Until the Brexit deal is announced, and whilst the UK remains within the EU, the same rules apply as they currently do until we leave. However, if there is a deal for Brexit, we will know about it within the next few weeks. If there isn't a deal, then we will know what the rules are going to be after a no-deal Brexit. But as of this moment, yes, you can come in. You are an EU citizen, you have a right to reside in this country and avail of the benefits that are available.
But how long that is for, we are unable to tell at the moment.
At this moment in time, if you arrive today, you will continue to receive the benefits as if you arrived here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and 5 years ago. However, if you arrived here 5 years ago and you made an application for settled status, you would get that, as long as you satisfy the other requirements. And it's likely that if you arrive here today and in 5 years' time you make an application because you've completed 5 full years, that you will get settled status. At this moment in time, that is where it stands.
Okay. So can I get a translation? Panel ke jak vorba te penavatu ke panel atunci yes penavatu ke aceste avese katan da Anglia te mangesa tu ke insurantos atunci dentu ta dentu via shegei la shai lestu ke vibuci shai lestu ke via socialura Tai shavura shai pirenam de shkola sogodi jal majdur sarso via canik sosi. Feri kodotru multe de kasinke que avea contractul mașcore Europa Unia taia Mari Britania vai nici. Că când avea contractul mașcarlende, atunci când la jene, cu cateia ba Anșberg, lenge chavlale canci problemo. Vom querer registrația, taia așa că mai dur, silen statusul avea absolutno rezidencija na kadothem. Jene sartu, când le manușenge pale cijana saravela, că trubulte peneninke, janes trubulte dika sar bolda jola avri mașcarlende, janes mașcare dui bare foruri mașcaro London tai o Bruxelles. Saravela avri janes. Site leșina sinke, site jucara sinke. De cade diciola canic că ova shai.
Cadica corșai.
A canic cade diciol.
Cade diciola avre.
Shai che parujola.
Šajka, iga.
Da canic inke shai.
Da? Márcul som 9.
Sasinke vikadom.
Okay.
To što ugye, hogy kogaba katei, najpánsbers, felidik bers túl, trímbers, pérenle lengelóve. Ugye télete tot gávna, tehát penna, hogy sáj, hogy ő kéretesen. Ugye abba kéral, kobi kinte benge kéra, kade avile avile, hogy katás, tai nájle abba kére kájszosam. Avile avile kate túl, trímbers, ugye besen kate, da peden alenge kéretesen, todolenca szó avula, tehát enle vari szó páse, sájmangenál kártérítési, vagy két számú, hogy pedenle ketilóve kéretesen ente train, vagy pedig kade bisavenle.
Okay, so Joseph is asking a question in relation to the Roma families that have no homes in their home countries.
Yes.
There are many people that are literally homeless. And if worst comes to worst, and they're here, let's say, in the country for a few years, but they may have some issues for which they will not be granted asylum status.
Right.
And if worst comes to worst and they get deported, then what happens to those families? Would there be any aid given by the state, do you think, to those families in case they got deported?
Okay. First of all, in answer to the previous question, if you've been here for less than 5 years, you get pre-settled status, and until you get complete 5 years and you make the application, then you will be given a settled status title. However, in order to get that, you have to submit the correct paperwork, and you have to make sure that you are eligible to remain in this country. So, what are the areas of eligibility? Are that you're an EU citizen, that you reside in this country, that you've done so for 5 years, you've contributed to the system, or that you are supporting yourself as a self-employed, or you're receiving some form of entitlement. The area that's going to cause the most difficulty is if there is something that would prevent the UK Home Office from issuing you a residency permit. And the only area that I can think of at this moment in time is one of having a criminal record. If you have a criminal record, that doesn't mean to say you won't get a settled status. It means it will be assessed on a case-by-case basis. And it depends on the severity of your conviction, how many times you've been convicted, and so forth and so forth. But it will be done on a case-by-case basis. So that is something you need professional advice and to make before you make that application.
And also, the part of the question was whether you think people that get, or families that get deported from the country for whatever
I can't
reason.
see a situation, Juice, where whole families will be deported because the applications will be made individually as an adult. Yeah. So if you're over 21 and you're part of a family, you are a single unit, you're a single entity, and you will make your own application. If you're part of a family and you're under 21, you will make the application under your parents' guidance. Yeah? And that is where, if your parents get deported or taken out of the country, then you will have to make a separate decision when you wish to come back and make an application here. Okay?
So it's getting a bit noisy, but let's try and carry on this conversation here. No, penap tu menge, ava mai pashe kamera ta shunem ma misto shukares. Penelo o Ibrahim, mai but bucha pendas mai but informații pendas kate. Pendas ke e familin, janesar e familia çişu del pe palpare, çalado çişu del pe palpare pernas. Cadete aveva terate lo del teraker, che vare cas sudena palpare, atunci quando corco geno aveva cas palpare. Depende cado cipa che aveva che co catei panchberg, quando les acceptuim, quando lenge den o status to beshon che ti bersa so kamen. Kas mai terra si, dico do shai mangel peskete shai che beshel kate, dico do era kate kamen. Ajare sma. Tai perer che cipa che anda cado aveva gindo, feri quando legi nenge pendas, kai silen criminalno buchar, janes. Kai chorde vare so ta sas pe krisa, atunci quando lenge shai aveva il problema pener, quando lenge shai penelo tem, canam kere registrația, că tu mă naști bășân cate. De pener vi quando lenge shai juti saras, ca silen criminal no bucha, că vi vilensilen chachipe, pasha pengo charado, pasha pengi familia, te shai bășân, pasha te tos pasha pengi romi, pasha shavora kire. Acana che keromes va terto se karomia sila vare so problemo janes e shingarența e zakonosa e temesa atunci advocatul e fiscalul și așa e ajutin e așa e beșe că te mai du feri tribul le pașe janes legal no reprezentația pe gajen ghișit fiscalul și advocatul pașe janes ca si care că si maș care vende mica
Giussi, ca să fac mai chira, tai cate beșelan do angla. Odolesa suavla.
It's a very good question as well. So if anybody has I was mentioning the criminal record, and then Alak is asking, if there is anyone in Hungary or Slovakia or Poland who has a criminal record over there, would there be a problem for the settled status over here?
At the moment, to the best of my knowledge, you will have to declare your criminal convictions when you make the application, whether it's over here or over there, and also it will be cross-referenced with your home country's police data records. So it's advisable not to hide those convictions, but to bring them into the open, because they will be cross-checked.
With the national database?
Yes.
Okay, it's important. Când kerene registrația, atunci pușena tu mendar pe formulari, că sas tu me vare so problemo kere, vai Anglia vai nici. Dai pene simiš tu te pene no chachipe, că sa koje ke jenes ke rodena vi kere so siles problemo. Na feri kata Anglia vi kere roden.
Okay. There you go. Shall I hand it back to you, James?
Yeah, so that's 100% certainty that they're going to cross-check the...
Not 100% certain, but I'm pretty certain that it will be cross-referenced.
Pener că n-ai shell pe shell că cade kerena, de pener că me cade pachav că von cade kerena. Okay.
Ugye palpale teteri naspe kaki vorba hodje çaladon, çişuden kadey kere. Ja banay panjber shkate, çişuden le kadey avrian datem hod kere te janta bikanchesko. Akkor pe kodoči danaj, keď sa vo vagoldáši pel da ľudia sa so pušlema den ti hod ľudia penen kere to buja te janta, ja šat lak žutin le páše. Od kere te kazdin dajo penge. Tatka do.
So Joseph is thinking that there would be many in the audience who would be interested in finding out if, in case they cannot manage here, right? You know, Brexit comes and there is one family member who is not receiving the right to settle or to pre-settle in the country, and they want to leave. Do you think they would receive any kind of support towards establishing a new life in a new country?
Well, that's, again, the questions are very good. At the moment, I can't answer that because we simply don't know. Because the Brexit deal is going through House of the Parliament, and once that's been established, then we will have more information. Hopefully, before the 29th of March, but if not, then certainly more information will come through if there's a no-deal Brexit. And we're happy to do another session like this to be able to address those specific questions when we have more information.
Penerke akanik lastik penerke na informacija, so avela sam da kadi situacija so to pušlan, ke lastik penerpe, ke dena le romenge vare so jutipe, te jan kire, te kerem penge knevo trajo kana nástik kerem pengo traju katan Anglia. Penel kado nástik penelpe, de sarso den avri nevi informacija, penel atunci inca eu ca šajbe šas ketane, taj kera se nevi konzultacija. Taj pare vorbi same pa kado. Okay? Čiže nam situme kaver, pare su te pušen, Kada pačavke?
Balkáni, hogy ugye Kasko, Ovelella, Csakán, tai Zsalo Brexit. Tehát inkább, tehát a Brexit is például a Ovelenge, a Hálelle, vagy Lenalele.
So maybe a final question regarding the families that live here in the country and are currently receiving benefits. Do you think their entitlement will cease to exist? Will it be stopped after the Brexit date, or their entitlement will carry on?
To the best of my knowledge, the entitlements will carry on because at the moment they are EU citizens, they have a right to those benefits, and it is my understanding that those benefits will continue if you have settled status or less than 5 years pre-settled status until you get settled status. Those benefits will continue to be applicable and available.
Penel ke, if you could hold the camera for me, thank you, Ibrahim. Penelo Ibrahim ke vov kade pačal ke žana majdur, elove ko akana kidel peske lovora, žane sam Anglia, kodola lovora žana majdur, akana sarso dičol. Majce raži anda beršesko ago, kado berš, kado berš. No, inke kodo kamal te penaptu mengero male, kondiken kado videovo, sako manušte hulavel kado videovo mangaftumente, resen kada la informații somai butero mende, te situmen pușimata, te situmen comentarea, că n-am avea să n-am mișto pendem, că butivar pe el pe acolo, atunci și ai lișare muri vorba te elal, anda comentarea, tai plus că am avut pe naptu menge, inke ekvažno buci, că te camena te len consultația, si ameni ek organizația sobușol Casco Sans, Arso Janel, ando Manchester, ando Oldham, tai te camen și-ai keren ek consultația e Ibrahimosa, te kamen šaj krene ke appointment manca, šaj krene bookingo roden ma po Facebooku, po telefono, taj keras je appointmento e Ibrahimesa, je kolego salende andalengi kancelaria, taj šaj bešen lenca. Je časo Iva, deltu me bilo vengo, bi Francesco, taj me pa čav ke bute romenge avela kado važno šansa, te šaj žane sako manuš, te šaj penel privatno peske problemura e Ibrahimovske šaj kerenko do romale, šaj rodenamen. Yeah, and the very last announcement I wanted to say was that I would like to ask all the viewers of this video to share this video in your network, so any members of the Roman community that are interested in receiving this information or want to join the discussion, the debate, want to add any information we didn't say or correct any information we gave, you're very welcome to do that in the comment section below this video. And please guys, share it. And the very last piece of information to share with everyone is that Ibrahim and his office, Acker Solicitors in South Manchester, are providing free legal surgeries to members of our organization, of the Koskasan Roma Charity. So if people are interested in booking an appointment for a free surgery on a one-to-one basis, then you're welcome to do that and get in contact on Facebook or on phone as well. Yeah, so if any questions or comments, just leave that under the video, guys, for us. Thank you very much for your time, especially if you watched the entire video. It's a very, very long one. You're one of our very enthusiastic fans, and we want to hear from you more. Okay, nice Arab to win the Roman Tavan Baktale Kaso, Avila Kate. Nice Koronta, Avel Baktalo, Taita Ashol Baktalo, Viangla Brexit, Tai Vipala Brexit.
Okay. I'll give it back to you, Juice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Lovely to be here.
Okay. All right. Vamos dar essa video.